What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Robert Fitzpatrick. I am a realtor in the DFW area. That's Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, for those of you not familiar. And I am a licensed real estate agent. As you make your way into the video, just make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Just show overall support for the channel. This is my monthly market report that I do every month. I've been doing it mainly through email, but I've switched it up a little bit and I'm going to start doing it through video. I think I did one last month, but overall, I've been doing them primarily through email. And I wanted to bring it to video because I started this channel. I've had it open for a while now, but I really haven't been pouring into it. And I want to give the people that support me and watch this channel more value. So that is why I am going to be doing this on here. All right. So with that being said, tonight I'm going to be talking about the market overall. The numbers just hit on June 1st, I believe, for what May was looking like. So I'm going to get into sales price. I'm going to get into whether homes are selling above or over or under asking price. I'm going to get into all of them. I'm going to get into inventory. I also am going to show you an affordability chart showing how much income you actually need to make to be able to afford a certain price point. We're going to get into all of that. But first, I like to start these shows out with a little bit of motivation. Okay, a little bit of motivation. So I've been seeing some online creators, some online content creators coming after real estate agents. All right, coming after real estate agents and blaming real estate agents for people overpaying for properties over the last 2 or 3 years. Right. So I'm going to break down exactly what was happening during that time because there's a lot of misconceptions about real estate agents. And here's the crazy thing. People try to couple real estate agents in with car salesmen and things like that. But here's the deal. Around 90% of people that use a real estate agent to purchase a property or sell a property would use that real estate agent again. So what that tells me is overall, people are very satisfied with the service that they get from real estate agents. We are nowhere near the bottom of the barrel when it comes to trying to be sleazy salespeople or just doing it for the money. I heard a lot of people saying that, oh, well, real estate agents, they just want you to pay more for a property so that they can get more on commission. While it is true that if you pay more for a property, generally your real estate agent is going to get paid more, but that does not mean that real estate agents out here are just in broad terms getting their clients to pay more so that they can make off with more money. And here's why. Here's why I don't think that that's happening on a large scale. Okay. First of all, most people that purchase properties are using a loan. So in order to get a loan, the bank is not going to give you more for a property than it appraises for, minus your down payment and everything, right? And closing costs. They're not going to give you more than the property appraises for. So what that means is that people understand the price of the actual property, right? If you're a buyer, when you go get a property, you typically get an appraisal with that property. If you're getting a loan, it's required. So when you get that appraisal, the appraisal will show here's what the appraiser said it's worth. At that point, if the appraisal is presented to the buyer, they have the information. If they choose to purchase the property after seeing that it is appraising for less than what the purchase price is, that is their prerogative. They are adults. That is the decision that they make. But the idea that real estate agents in mass are getting appraisals back and showing it to their clients, and the appraisal says, here, look, this property is appraising for $30,000 less, just buy it. Do you think we have that kind of power? No. You're talking about the same people who many real estate agents don't even like when people's dads come on the inspection because they don't want that confrontation. Like, I don't understand why people think real estate agents have more power than they actually have. Most real estate agents are out to generally help people. We want to genuinely help people. We provide a great service, and most people would use the same real estate agent again. That tells you something. That tells you something. So I'm going to get into this, but I'm going to be right back. It's getting kind of hot. Let me turn this fan on. Ooh. Okay. That got me sweating up out here. All right, I'm back. Okay. So over the last 2 or 3 years, what was happening is sellers were listing their properties for super, super high, and buyers were coming in and saying, I need that property. Not I want that property, but I need that property. And if you, as my real estate agent, if you don't do everything you can to get me that property, I'm going to fire you and I'm going to get a new real estate agent. I don't care if I have to pay $10,000, $20,000 over asking price. I want that property. You get it for me. And as a real estate agent who is obligated to respect the wishes of their client and get them what they want, here's the offer, seller, $10,000 over asking price. So let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this. How responsible do people want real estate agents to be when it comes to clients making a decision? Because I was trained and I was taught that as a real estate agent, my job is not to make decisions for my clients who are adults who make their own money and are capable of making their own decisions. No. My job as a real estate agent is to present the facts, present the options, and let my client know what I think the best option is. But also let them know they have the final decision. That's what I thought being a real estate agent was. Here, Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer, this property you want, the comps are showing it's only worth $300,000. You said you want to put $320,000 to make the offer competitive. Are you sure you want to do that? Because you're probably going to be overpaying for that, and it may not appraise. Oh, well, yeah, we'll put the 320, and if it doesn't appraise for 320, we'll come down. But if it appraises for 320, we're good with it. Okay, here's the offer, right? That's how it goes. But this idea that evil real estate agents are out here just making people sign on the dotted line to overpay, it's not happening. It's not happening. There's so many safeguards in place to protect consumers. It's not happening. You're talking about a buyer has so many options, right? So many options. If, for instance, you have the comps. What are the comps showing the property's worth? Then the appraisal, which if you get the appraisal back and the appraisal showing that the property is worth way less than what you're offering, you have the option of coming down. You have the option of coming down and in most cases getting your earnest money back if you don't want to move forward. So there's so many safeguards, okay? Also, all right, this idea that whenever something happens in the real estate world and a real estate agent lets you know, this idea that them letting you know is somehow them trying to scam you or trick you into buying a home or selling a home, it's just nonsense. It's nonsense. If interest rates fall 1% today and I call you and I say, hey, interest rates fell 1%, you think you might want to do something? That's not me scamming you. That's not me trying to get over on you or trick you. That's me relaying information to you and seeing if you want to do something. I'm not threatening you. I'm not tricking you. I'm letting you know here's information. Oh, if you also want to know how much that interest rate will affect your payment, that 1% drop, I can get you in contact with a loan officer who can explain the numbers, adding value. It's not just like, oh, interest rates fell. Don't pay attention to the payment. We're not going to go over any of that. Just come and buy this property so that I can get paid. That's not how it goes. Anyone that's ever been serious about real estate and being a real estate agent will tell you real estate is about building relationships so that 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, that money that you think we're after, that every real estate agent is just money. We probably spent years building those relationships before that person even did anything. We called them multiple times, spent money getting those people to contact us or for us to contact them. Real estate agents are in the business of building relationships. And many times, real estate agents do more work than people know behind the scenes, but we get touted as, oh, you guys are overpaid. Real estate agents are overpaid, not knowing it took years to foster that relationship. Years. So for all of the people out there that keep saying real estate agents are the reason why, real estate agents are the reasons why that people were overpaying, real estate agents are the reason why inflation, real estate agents are the reason why the tectonic plates move and there's earthquakes, right? We gonna get blamed for everything. Real estate agents get blamed for everything, right? You know how when you was a kid and they used to say you step on a crack, you break your mama's back. You know that's how real estate agents are now. It's like we get, anytime something bad happens in the world, someone's gonna blame a real estate agent, right? Someone's gonna blame a real estate. Oh, the price of groceries went up. It's because of real estate agents. They were trying to get people to pay more for houses, and because they paid more for houses, now the price of eggs went up. Listen, most real estate agents are good, honest people who want to help you with real estate. That's it. You can't survive long-term in this business by being a selfish individual that only thinks of yourself and screws people over, especially because of the internet right now, right? Especially because of the internet. Okay, so I had to get that off my chest. We are going to move right into the data. Okay, let's go. We're going to move right into the data. So let me share my screen with you. All righty. Here we go. All right. Okay. So I have this data pulled up right here. And as we can see, right now we're looking at Grand Prairie, Dallas, Arlington, and DeSoto, right? Grand Prairie, Arlington, Dallas, and DeSoto. Those are the main markets that I serve. If you want me to give you information on other markets in the DFW area, just hit me up. All my information is in the description. Just text me, or you can DM me on my social media at Fitz_Realtor. That's at Fitz_Realtor. And that's on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook at Robert Fitzpatrick with the Bailey Watson Real Estate Group. That's Robert Fitzpatrick with the Bailey Watson Real Estate Group. So we're looking at Grand Prairie, Dallas, and DeSoto. And I want you to pay attention here. Okay. I've set some parameters. All right. I've set some parameters, and I'm going to explain why. So up here, right, there's all property types. But in general, I want to use the data that most people are interested in and what most people are searching for. Most people are not searching for a condo or a townhouse or farm ranch in my area. They're looking for a single family home. So I parse the data out and segment it so that we're looking at single family homes. Because if I look at all property types, it's going to pull the data in for all property types, and it's not going to be an accurate number that you get to give you to inform you on a decision that you want to make. So I look at the single family homes, right? And most people that are buying a house, they want a 3-bedroom or up. But most people I speak to is 3 bedrooms, right? So I'm using 3 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and all construction type. So all construction type just means that resell or new construction. Resell, that's a property that's been lived in before and you're reselling it. New construction is a property that's never been lived in before. All right, that's just been built. And I'm not going to get too down into the square footage just because, you know, that's doing too much, or the year built. So the good thing about these areas, about the DFW areas, you have multiple cities that are kind of close together. But if you don't want to live in one, you have so many options. And here's why. Let me show you this. So in Dallas, right? This like burgundy line right here, this is Dallas. In May, the median sales price in Dallas was $395,000. Now, less than 25 miles away in Grand Prairie, the median sales price was $307,000. That's almost a $90,000 difference in less than 25 miles away. So if you are someone who maybe cannot afford a $400,000 home in Dallas, it may be worth looking at in Grand Prairie, where it's almost $90,000 less in median price for a property. Let's look at Arlington. Same deal. Arlington, the median price was $310,000 for a 3-bedroom home. $310,000. That's $85,000 less than Dallas. And Arlington is close to Dallas as well. So if you're a home buyer, right, your money is going to go further in different places. And that's what this graph is showing you. Right here, these areas are semi-close together, right, compared to Dallas. They're all around Dallas. $85,000 less, almost $90,000 less, $75,000 less, right? So the point that I'm making is, just because you cannot afford one place does not mean you cannot afford a different place, as we see. So let's just look at the difference here. Over the last year, the prices, and here's another thing. People saying, oh, prices haven't fell. Look at Dallas. Dallas a year ago, the median price was $445,000. Right now, it's $395,000. The median price in Dallas for a 3-bedroom has dropped 11.2%. 11.2%. Okay. Look at Arlington, dropped 4.7% over the last year. 3.5%. DeSoto rose 2.4%. Okay. But it didn't get as high as these other places. As a matter of fact, the highest that DeSoto got over the last year, 316,000, is pretty much only $1,000 less now. So it didn't really fluctuate as much as some other places. Like Dallas, we see it fluctuated a lot. It got down to 300,000 in December and then peaked back up. Okay. So that's what we have for the median price in these areas. All right. Here's another number that I like to look at. Original list price. It's crunching the numbers. While it's crunching the numbers, I want to say something. Okay. So if you're thinking about buying a property, it's truly important that you understand the local market that you're shopping in. I can't tell you how many videos I see on YouTube where the content creators just doom and gloom, blaming real estate agents for everything. The market's failing, everything is blah, blah, blah. But as you see with the actual data, many places are down in terms of the median sales price, right? In terms of the median sales price, many places are down in this market. Maybe it's different in another market, but many of the places are down. And you also have to look at data that's specific to the property you want. If you want a single family 3-bedroom, stop looking at data that's also including 4 bedrooms and mansions and $1 million properties over here, and including areas that you're not even shopping in. Get specific when it comes to the data you're looking at for the properties that you want to buy. Okay. It's still crunching the numbers. All right. Let's see. Okay. So we have it up now. All right. So this is important. So the median original list price, if we look right here at Dallas, $419,000. $419,000, and that's down from last year. But here's the important thing, okay? See where it says 419,000 is the original list price, but what was the median sales price? It was 395,000, which means that homes are selling for less than they're being listed for. Homes are selling for less than they're being listed for. Let's look at this. From April in Dallas, from April 2023 to May 2023, it was at 445,000 original listing price to 419,950. That's what, a $25,000 difference. So that's a $25,000 difference between what properties are being listed for, which means sellers are starting to catch up with the market. Sellers are starting to look at the data and say, you know, I can't keep listing my property for such a high price because it's just going to sit on the market. And when it sits on the market, people are not going to want to buy my property. Right? That's what sellers are saying. Here's the thing when new data comes out. When new data comes out, agents are able to give it to their buyer, give it to their seller, and now they're able to make more informed decisions. Because as a real estate agent, my job is to look at the data and present that data to my client. When my client sees that the median property is being listed for $20,000 less than it was in May, that's going to let them know that sellers are starting to price the properties a little closer to what they're worth. So maybe we don't need to negotiate as hard as we would have back then. Maybe that lets us know that there's more people buying properties and these prices are more competitive. Pay attention to the data. The data is what's going to help us make the best decision for you. Right. And another thing, okay? Another thing to remember is that the market has cycles. So right now, heading into the summertime, this is when real estate starts to pick up. I mean, this is when Aunt Sally want to buy a property. Aunt Junebug, she want to buy a property. Everyone want to buy a property. Everyone wants to sell. Everyone wants to get in their dream home before the school year starts or whatever, right? This is when real estate picks up. But this is when you also have to be the most careful to not buy into the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Just because everyone is doing it online or saying they're doing it doesn't mean you have to do something that you can't afford and that's going to put you in a bad financial position. So do not compromise your financial health trying to keep up with other people this summer. Okay. Let's get into the price per square foot. So right here, we see that the price per square foot actually rose between April and May. Not too much. In Dallas, a little more, but not too much. I think it kind of tapered off over here in these other cities, but not too much of a difference. Here's what I want to show you, okay? The median number of days that these properties were on the market. So in April, Dallas, it was 17 days, okay? 17 days. So right here we see 17 days for Dallas in April. Now in May, it was 12. All right. So for those of you wondering, well, what is the difference between median and average? Okay, median means that 50% of properties fell under a number and 50% are over a number. So in April, when the data shows that properties on the median property was on the market for 17 days, that means 50% of the properties were on the market for 17 days or less, right? So if you put your property on the market in April, then what that means is that 50% of those properties were on the market for 17 days or less. The average is taking all of the properties and seeing between all of the properties what was the average amount of days that it was on the market. Very big difference between average and median. Okay, and I'll show you right now. So here we're looking at the median, right? Low numbers, nothing over 12, right? 12, 9, 12, 11 between those four cities. Now let's look at the average. Okay. 24, 28, 25, 25. So you see the average is typically going to be more than the median. So the average house in Dallas stayed on the market 28 days in May. Okay. So in May, the average property sat on the market in Dallas for 28 days. So what that tells you is if you're thinking about selling, on average, you have about 28 days from the time your property hits the market to the time it sells to really get the ball rolling. That means you need to have the movers ready. You need to have wherever you're going, you need to have that situated. Don't wait until the last minute because properties are still selling. The average property is on the market for only 28 days. That's a good, healthy market. Okay. Just to put that in context, many lenders are able to close a loan in 30 days or less. So what that means is these lenders are busy. These lenders are busy and they're on top of it. That's a good thing. That's a good, healthy market. Okay. So let's go back to the data. All right. So percent of original price. Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting. Let's look at the average. Okay. So what this is the average percent of original price. So this is what are properties on average selling for compared to the original price. And these all are about no more than 2%. So about 1 to 1.5%. So in May, the average property in the DFW area in Dallas and these other areas I'm talking about, they were selling between 0.5% and about 2% below what the original purchase price is. But here's the thing. We also have to take into consideration that the purchase price or the original listing price went down. So this is a good thing, okay? This means that sellers are not pricing the properties too much because the price went down as far as what they were listing it for. And because that went down, buyers are now offering closer to what sellers want for the property. That's a great thing. That is a great thing. So the data shows right now that because sellers are bringing the price down more and they are bringing it down to a point to where buyers feel more comfortable purchasing it, buyers in return are offering closer to what the seller wants. And this is great for everyone because what that means is sellers get to sell their property in a timely manner, buyers get to buy their property in a timely manner, and both sides of the transaction are happy. Okay? Because as a buyer, understand this. If you get a pre-approval letter and you don't purchase a property within a certain time, you now have to have your credit ran again. There are certain things that may have changed in your financial situation. It's a headache. It can be a headache not being able to purchase a property when you get pre-approved. So if buyers are now able to start being able to start affording and purchasing properties, and their original offers are being accepted, or they're offering something closer to the listing price, this is a sign of a more healthy market. Okay. So that's good news. I think that that's good news. Supply, let's see. Let's see where the supply is. Okay. All right. So supply has went up in these other areas. It stayed flat. It's stayed pretty flat in Dallas since December, about 2 months. In these other areas, it's about a month, between a month and a half. All right. So let's break that down. So when you hear people say in real estate, how much inventory is there? How much inventory is there? What they're talking about is this. Inventory is if no new properties were listed on the market, how long would it take to sell the currently listed properties? And so when you see there's 2 months of inventory, that's all that's saying is if no new properties were listed, it would take 2 months to sell what's less. Well, if there's only half a month of inventory, what that means is that the inventory is going faster and faster and faster. And as such, that's when you see prices go up because there's such a high demand and properties are going off the market so fast that people are willing to pay more. That's what was happening back in 2021 and in 2020. Okay. It's because let's look at that. Okay. If I pull up the data, we see I'll go back 3 years. Okay. Here's 3 years. And let's just look at Dallas. All right. We'll look at Dallas. So back in 2020, April, right around the time of the pandemic starting, right here in April, there was about 3 months of inventory. And then boom, inventory dropped to 1 month. It went from 3 in April, and by December, the inventory was cut in half pretty much. And it got to its lowest right here last year, around January last year. And then as prices have started to come down as prices started to come down, interest rates started to rise, we see inventory rose. And as we've seen the interest rate kind of hover between 6 to 8%, we see that inventory has kind of stabilized. So inventory is up 35.7% since last year. All right. It's up 37.5% in Arlington. It's down 7.1% in Grand Prairie, and it's up 9.1% in DeSoto. So overall, just looking at this inventory right now, compared to last year, inventory is up. Okay, so now we're going to look at closed sales. Closed sales are up for the most part in Dallas. All right. So now moving into this next part, I'm done kind of breaking down the data, crunching the numbers. If you want more data, more specific data for the area that you're looking in, and you want to get down to even the neighborhood level, make sure you contact me. DM me on Instagram, Facebook, or contact me. My information is in the description, so you can get a hold of me there if you're in the DFW area and you are searching for a home or you want to sell your home, all that great stuff. But I want to show you an affordability chart. Okay, I want to show you something. Okay, here we go. Let's put this back up here. So I pulled this up to help you understand what things are looking like. So this is an affordability chart, affordability diagram. Okay, let me pull up Dallas. Okay, so pretty much what this is breaking down is based on your income, what percentage of the listings can you afford? So if you make $50,000, you can afford 1.5% of the listings. Okay. So if you make $100,000, the worshipped six figures, if you make that, you can afford close to 20% of the listings. Okay. If you want to afford 50% of the listings, you have to make probably around $140,000 if you want to be able to afford 50% of the listings. So what this is saying is that if you made this annually, if you made $125,000 annually, you would be able to afford 40% of the listings. You'd have access to 13,347 of the listings, right? That's what this is showing. So this is just gives you an idea of if you are making a certain amount of money, what can you afford, right? What can you afford? That's all this is. Okay. Now, stop sharing that. So what I want to say as I wrap things up, I appreciate the support. If there's anything that I can ever do for you, if you need any help with the real estate, please let me know. All my contact information is in the description. Also, I'm going to be dropping more content on this channel, reacting to more clips because I'm seeing all kinds of ridiculous things online about real estate agents and real estate in general. And I think it's important that those of us who have a platform and a voice speak out and really try to spread truth. I'm going to be also dropping more tours of different places that I go in the city just to show people that maybe aren't familiar with the area why Arlington is such a great place, why Dallas is such a great place, and all the other areas that I cover. Also going to be reviewing restaurants and things like that, give you an inside look at some of these places. So be on the lookout for that. And if you got any value from this, make sure you hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know any new content that you want to see, and I will see you next time. Thank you.